Falcon.
Hey Mashpee, welcome to our first episode of Falcon Friends, where we talk about everything going on in the Mashpee Public Schools. Today we have Superintendent DeBoer joining us to talk about everything that's going on. Thanks for joining us, Superintendent.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so excited to be here. We have a lot going on in our district. As we all know, we have shifted to a masks optional environment, which has really helped to boost our morale of students and staff.
So, what's it like being a superintendent in our school district?
I think it's the best job ever. I do need to visit our students as often as I can to sort of ground me and make sure that I remember that that's what's the most important thing to me. And also it just uplifts my day every day. But I happen to enjoy this job very much. I have a great team of leaders around me. We have fabulous students. We have families who are super supportive. And then we have a really dedicated team of educators. So all of those pieces working together make, for me, it's a pretty enjoyable position, and I'm grateful to have it.
Can you tell me about your decision making on lifting the masks in the schools?
So it was a little bit of a process. It started with the governor in Massachusetts as well as the Commissioner of Education deciding that the 28th of February was going to be the date that we as a local district could choose to remove the masks. But that had to be processed through our school committee and a policy that we have currently in place that required masking. And so they did sort of gather through Zoom a meeting on February 18th, I think was when we finally had it, to address what was in our policy and make any modifications to it. So that was done so that we could plan to unmask or make masks optional on Monday of this week, the 28th. And then on the weekend before the 28th was when at the federal level, they lifted the mandate requiring masks on buses. So then we had to decide whether what was worded in our policy would work and could we make that happen starting on that Monday. So there was a lot going on Sunday, the 27th, to make sure we were where we wanted to be on the 28th.
It sounds like a long process.
It's a long process. We try to get as much input from many different stakeholders as we can to make sure we're doing the right thing. We have a district nurse coordinator, Stacy Shackle, so she was involved. The Board of Health was involved. So trying to make sure, because no one has a crystal ball to know if everything's going to be the way we want it, but we do have to move forward. So I'm happy with the way things are this week. And we did pool testing on Tuesday, or surveillance testing it's called. I think we had 199 participants of students and staff, and all pools were negative, so that's good.
What's going on in the KCCC school right now?
KCC is a fabulous place to be. The students are just, not that all of our students aren't adorable, but the littlest ones are super adorable. I was able to participate or observe this week where the Mashpee Middle High School English Honor Society went to do Read Across America yesterday, and so it was really great to see our older students doing a little bit of memory lane travels and being able to see some of their teachers. Also important at the Coombs School is the upcoming kindergarten registration, preschool registration, and that's ongoing through the website. Everything is done electronically, and then there'll be screenings that get done as we get closer to the school year, but we're hopeful that many of our youngest learners who might not have been comfortable coming into a school setting are going to choose to join us and enter preschool and kindergarten next year with us.
What about at the Quashnet School? Anything going on there?
Quashnet School is also a hopping place. The students just this week are able to pick their seats in the lunchroom. They're not fully back to facing each other, but that's just made lots of smiles on their faces. The 5th grade and the 6th grade seems to have been struggling lately with their ability to manage social media. And so the week before February vacation, the 5th grade all had an assembly. It was individual and not an assembly. It was an individual learning session in their homerooms. And this week is 6th graders trying to reinforce the importance and helping them understand what it means when you hit that send button and how impactful it can be both personally and to peers and others. So that's an important piece, and that's happening with the Director of Guidance up here, which is Mrs. Catt, also with our School Resource Officer, Hennessy, and the counselors down at the Quashnet School, and also the Sheriff's Department. So hopefully they'll be more knowledgeable and make better choices when it comes to the social media.
And is there anything going on right here in the MMHS?
Well, I think one of the greatest things this week was the change in the lunchroom. We have new tables that were ordered right at the beginning or last summer, but we weren't able to use them until now. And so just having our students be able to sort of socialize. I did go in some of the homeroom blocks on Tuesday and just saw some social interaction that wasn't taking place before in terms of, everybody having all their work done. They were playing a game of Uno Minecraft, but just nobody's phone was on. It was just, healthy interaction. We also know that right before the break, we had a really awesome choral concert and then the instrumental concert on that week as well. And that was the first time in about 25 months we had actually an in-person performances. So those were wonderful.
Thank you for telling us about that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And a reminder to KCCC and Quashnet students and families. Term 2 ends on the 15th and report cards come out on the 24th. Speaking of Quashnet, let's see what's up with some of their new clubs.
What is your club?
Well, it's a scrapbooking club, and it's just a social and creative club.
Why should people join this club?
Well, if you like being creative and you like spending time with friends in a quiet, calm spot to just relax and enjoy your time, this is a good club for you.
So what are you making?
I am making a yellow theme scrapbook.
What are you making?
I'm making a scrapbook. This one's my Valentine's Day one. It says love is in the air.
Welcome back, friends. April 7th is Quashnet's Night to Shine. We're so happy to have performing arts back in person. And on March 17th, the MMHS has its talent show here. What's your talent?
So if I were going to perform that night, my favorite talent is to bake. So I'm not really sure how that translates onto the stage in the auditorium, but I'll have to give some thought about that. So we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right. This is called Nikan, and Nikan means our children. And here we speak Wampanoag. So all the Wampanoag kids are here, and what they learn is how to speak their language.
Go banana.
They learn how to write in their language and also to read the language. And yes, they're a very sparkle type of group. So this is an opportunity for Wamp kids to get to learn their language, their culture, their history, and also how to treat one another as one. So we work on diversity too.
Welcome back. Make sure to mark your calendars for the Blue Falcon Theater Company's production of Puffs on March 25th and 26th.
And for MMHS families, a reminder, and to students as well, that term 3 ends on April 8th, and report cards are due to go home on April 15th, which is also the date that parents, you need to pay your taxes.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we sign off?
Just a quick reminder, this is the 5th year that we've done a family opinion survey, and the surveys went out to each school's parents and guardians on Monday the 28th. A reminder would have gone out on Monday the 7th of March, but at any rate, the survey is open for 2 weeks. It'll close on March 11th, so if you have not had an opportunity to complete the survey, we'd really appreciate that you taking some time. It takes about 5 or 6 minutes to do, and really the responses that we get from our families are very important to us as we try to plan forward and make improvements to the district. So hopefully everyone will participate.
All right, well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you too. Awesome.
Thanks for flying with Falcons. We'll see you next month.